Katerina.
Hi.
Welcome to our official first episode of the Unfiltered Brew podcast. It's been a long time coming. We've been hyping people up for a while.
I know.
It's time to
actually put it out there. Like we've recorded it like 3 times.
Yeah, because
because we didn't realize, that there was so much tech stuff that we needed to learn and
we're producing our own podcast, but we're lucky enough to be in this beautiful studio today. And it was a learning process.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Learning
I
curve
didn't realize how much goes into it.
Yeah, between audio, 3 cameras, lighting, post-production.
Yeah, so let's talk about how we've met and what brings us here today. Last year, we were hanging by the pool and we decided to start talking about our life. We started talking about our experiences and our love life.
Basically dumped like
10 years into like an hour. We both just kind of looked at each other. We're like, oh my gosh, like I want to start a podcast. And you're like, I want to start a podcast. And I'm like, let's just start a podcast together. And we, like whatever we were talking about, it was like, oh my gosh, this would be perfect on a podcast.
Because it's relatable.
It is.
Like our energy was so aligned. We're on the same frequency. And we looked at each other and this would be a great conversation and on a podcast because it's relatable. People can resonate. It'd be funny to share experiences. We have so much to share. I mean, I just turned 30 and my 20s were like, you guys will get to know us a little more with each episode.
So it's going to be unfiltered, unscripted. We are going to talk about real life experiences and
we're going to get raw.
It's going to be raw. It's going to be raw like your steak that you like. It's so weird. Why do I even say that? Oh my goodness. Anyways, so I'm excited that we decided to do this together. Our energy, like you said, we were like very aligned and it's hard. It like takes time to find that right person to do this with,
I agree.
You can't like do these shows with just random people. You have to like click. And I feel like you and I clicked.
It's got to keep a conversation going and also to like trust each other with our vulnerability.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. Especially I'm so guarded, and the fact that immediately I felt like I could trust you. Like I like dumped some deep shit with you that day at the pool.
Me too. Me too. No, me too. Yeah. And it's like you said, it takes a minute for me to open up as well. Yeah. Like I'll open up to my best friends and my family, but to random people, it's just like I'm always closed off. Yeah. And I think the reason why I'm closed off is just with a lot of, things and shit that I've been through in my life. And
shit is real.
Shit is real. And I'm excited to be here with you. And I'm glad that we share the same goals and the same outlook and our values. We
have similar very similar values. It was meant to be just be sitting here with you because I've tried starting this podcast with other people and just like life happened and it was
I'm a vibe. I'm a vibe.
She's a vibe.
With 2 broken nails, I'm a vibe.
Cameraman, zoom on her nails.
No, I don't care. I'm allowed to have broken nails. There's a lot of girls that are walking around now with broken nails.
Yes, it's a
nail.
Look. Watch it be a trend.
At least I had my nails done in Miami.
Speak of Miami.
Okay, Miami.
We just got back from Miami, and funny enough, we were not supposed to be in Miami together, but we manifested, and then God like works in mysterious ways, and we both ended up in Florida at the same time.
Yeah.
Coming from 2 different trips.
You were on a cruise.
I was on a cruise. I was in the Bahamas, Mexico, and then you were in Miami.
I was originally supposed to go to Mexico. So my cousin and I do a trip for our birthdays every year. We try to choose an exotic place where we just haven't seen and just to get away. We went to Tulum last year, which, oh my God, if nobody has ever been to Tulum, you must go. MUST, because it's the most spiritual and the most calming and fun place to go. I love Tulum.
Spelled out.
You must, capital letters must go to Tulum if you've never been there. We were gonna go this year to Tulum, but with everything going on and the travel advisory, we just figured it was giving me anxiety if I would have gone.
Yeah, a lot going on.
So we just decided to take to Miami. I've been to Miami, but not with her. So we're like, all right, let's just go to Miami. Let's have a good week. And we ended up staying at the Fontainebleau, which was amazing. Such a beautiful resort. It was close to everything, and it was nice. I had reached out to my friend that had just recently moved down there, and he gave us like a bunch of places to go to, which I'm so grateful for that. But like, it was so nice. Like all these places, like Mila was one of my favorites.
I don't know if I would move there. If I were to move to Florida, I would move to like maybe Fort Lauderdale.
Lauderdale is one of my favorites.
That's where.
Fort Lauderdale, coconuts. Oh my God.
Oh my God, you guys, we were there like 3 days in a row.
Best Pinot Grigio.
We basically tried everything on the menu when we went.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Lobster claws are the best. So
Scoobies.
The Scoobies, that's what they're called, the Scoobies. But a lot of people don't know what the Scoobies are. So they're these amazing lobster claws that are cooked in this garlic butter sauce with chunks of garlic in there. So if you're trying to make out with someone, it's not the right thing to eat for you. But I don't care. Whoever I'm trying to make out with should like me the way I am, even if I smell like garlic.
So did you make out with anyone while you were down there?
Did I make out with anyone? I did. Miami has some pretty handsome men.
It's definitely a melting
pot.
pot.
I'm a single girl. I'm allowed to do what I want.
No one's judging.
You know, don't judge. But it was really nice. I liked the weather. The weather was amazing. You came and you extended your trip.
Yep.
And we got to hang out. We got to go.
I was supposed to fly out. You were in Key West. I was in Fort Lauderdale. Just got off the ship. Was in Miami. Went back to Fort Lauderdale. Missed my flight. Extended just so I could hang out.
Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. It was meant to be. And then towards the end, I actually didn't miss my flight.
Can we talk about what happened when you were flying back to Cleveland?
Yes. So I ended up, so I was supposed to fly out Monday and back home.
I was supposed to leave on Friday.
Yes, you guys extended till Tuesday.
Our flight was delayed. There was a bunch of storms hitting Cleveland, and we're like, hey, let's just extend it. Yeah. And we basically just canceled our flight and didn't rebook. Well, let's just see the vibe. And then we drove to Miami from Lauderdale, and we met up, we hung out, and then you were supposed to fly out
Monday morning. Prior to Monday, I thought about, I'm off Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So I was like, let's just, we're gonna I was thinking about extending. I'm like, I'm gonna just stay till Tuesday with Nora. And
then you heard my little voice like instigating you to stay.
I know. And I was like, I want to go home because I needed the day before I go back to work. And just because I don't want to go straight into work. Mm-hmm. So I get to the airport, check my bag, check everything like a normal procedure.
And we're texting each other. And I'm like,
I'm like, oh my God, I should have done it. But then I'm like, no, I can't go home. I was like, I had like a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other telling me, stay. Go home and unpack, do your laundry.
But you were so indecisive.
Stay.
We're so indecisive.
I was so indecisive.
And like, you got to the airport and you text me, oh my God, I'm looking at flights. I'm like, Kat, why didn't we do this last night? We were talking.
I know. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm waiting at the gate to scan my boarding pass on my phone. I had previously paid for my seat with Frontier. I scanned my boarding pass, about to enter the tunnel before the plane, and she's like, you don't have a seat. I said, I literally paid, and it says 11F. And she's like, no, she's arguing with me. I said, I literally paid for this flight, the seat.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, you don't have a seat.
Basically, your whole
aisle. So she kicks me out of the line. I was like, okay, so now I'm in another line with like 15 other people that don't have a seat. So to make the long story short, what had happened is they had charged me for this seat, but that whole row 11 and row 12 were non-existent on the actual physical airplane.
Oh my God.
How are you charging people for a seat? It's not even on the plane. It's so weird.
Oh my God. Frontier,
so
if you're watching, we want our money back.
I was upset. I was like, oh my gosh. So whatever. I'm standing in line. There was a family of 4, and a kid was like 2 years old that had his own front seat, like up like 10 rows away from his mom. So they were just trying to switch things around. So towards the end, there was a lady that was complaining she had to get home, blah, blah, and there was only 6 seats on the plane available, and there were 7 of us. So I go up to the front, like the flight attendant. I said, look, would it make it easier if I had just but if you just book me on tomorrow's flight so these people can go home, so we can expedite this process and let everyone just depart already. And she's like, yeah, that would be nice, helpful. And so like I did that, and then everyone's like thanking me, like, thank you for being the one, thank you for
taking the shot,
whatever. I said, it's fine, just get on the plane and let me go out of this airport.
And then I get a call from Kat.
So
I'm staying. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
So I know. And I asked the guy, and I was like, can I get my bag? Because my bag was already checked. And he's like, no. I said, okay, well, now I'm just like stuck without a bag. So I'm just going to leave this airport right now. I Ubered to you. You were staying at Hard Rock, which was really nice. I've been to Fort Lauderdale so many times, and I've never stayed at Hard Rock.
This is gorgeous.
Gorgeous resort. Yeah. Gorgeous. So we got there, we stayed the night, we go to Coconuts, it was amazing.
I just can't get over the fact that you got to the airport, you checked in your bag, and God turned you away, told you, get your ass back to Nora.
I was not supposed to get on that flight. That's the way I look at it. I feel like everything happens for a reason.
Yes, when you set the intention,
And it's not even that, like, you know, I always think to myself, like, when we're late, when we're doing, you know, when you're running behind, or if you're stuck in traffic, I just feel like there's a reason for it, and God's protecting you from something. And I think God at that moment was like protecting me. So everything was happening against me going on this flight. So maybe it's best I just didn't go on this flight. And then back to the story, they rescheduled me for Wednesday morning,
which was on my flight.
Yes. So then I ended up rescheduling because I just needed to be home. And so that was out of Miami. I had to go back to Miami, and I'm sitting at the gate here in Miami. It was gate 9. I almost missed this flight too, because I was sitting there. It was F9, whatever, gate 9. I'm sitting. It's like 3:30, and we're supposed to be boarding in like 5 minutes. There's no flight attendant. There's nobody. All of a sudden, I hear a lady in the background. Oh, they changed the gate. And I'm like, oh shit, I wonder if that's the Cleveland. So I go around trying to find information. I find that they moved all the Cleveland people to gate 15. And they never even sent out any text. So I would have missed that one too, but I ended up going, and it was fine.
I would have been mad because I was sitting at the hotel wishing you stayed an extra night.
I know.
Just to go back to saying about how everything that's delayed has a blessing in disguise.
Yes.
There's a saying in Arabic, I'm going to say in Arabic, which means every delay has a blessing. So never be upset if your flight's delayed, you're stuck in traffic. God is protecting you from something.
I agree.
That's a great way to look at it.
I used to always get mad, like, oh my gosh, the train is going so slow, or oh my gosh, this traffic is stopped, or I slept through my alarm. I think it's for those little things, because like I said, don't ever get mad that you're late or something. You are where you need to be at that moment.
Absolutely.
You know?
I agree.
I think
but the trip was fun.
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. Yeah. I'm so grateful that we got to like go on, because we've been talking about going on a trip together.
Yeah, and I feel like everybody,
and we're still going on a trip together.
But don't you feel like everybody and their mother,
everybody was in Cleveland,
or like Miami?
Everybody was in Cleveland. Everyone was in Miami from Cleveland.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, because the weather was so crappy here, and it's such a great time to just escape and get down to Florida. So what's your highlight of the trip, I would say? What was the highlight of your trip? You know where I'm going with this.
So the highlight of my trip, this is about to get real spicy. Let's talk about the trainer that ghosted, okay?
Hint, the title of the episode.
The episode is the trainer that ghosted. So I have a trainer, and he told me he was taking a leave because he had to deal with some personal things, which that's fine.
Life happens.
And I was in Miami, and he had reached out to me a week after I was in Miami. So him and I were both in Miami the entire time together without even knowing. Like, I didn't know that he was in Miami the entire time.
And at that point, you guys have not been training together?
Not been training. Every Sunday, he would text me, and he would be like, hey, what days can you work out, this and that. Like, it's like a routine for the last 2 years.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. So whatever. Like, he's like, okay, I can't work out this week. I said, that's fine, blah, blah. I just joked around with him. I said, hey, it looks like I'm going to have to find a new trainer, but it's fine. I was just joking. I wasn't like serious. And then he's like, oh, like I'm having some personal stuff. And I said, okay, that's fine. So then like the following weekend, I thought we were going to work out. And then he does it again. He's like, I can't work out this week. I can't work out until March. I was not into the virtual workouts because he explained to me that he couldn't do in-person workouts with anybody. He couldn't work out with anyone. I said, okay, that's fine.
So you had like a personal issue, couldn't train you, and was just taking a break from
training. So he said, I can do virtual. And I said, unfortunately, this just doesn't work for me. I need someone to motivate me when I'm working out, to be there, to push me, to guide me. I could look up workouts on my own. I don't need a trainer to tell me how to work out, you know? So anyways, so we didn't work out for a while. He was kind of like MIA. He just fell off the face of the planet. I don't know where he went. I had no idea where he was at. Like, he wasn't communicating with me. He wasn't doing any of that. So then I'm in Miami. I'm posting all my stories, and he's viewing all my stories, and he knows I'm in Miami because, I mean, you can tell when someone's in Miami.
Oh, yeah.
So I get a text message from him one day that I was there towards the end of my trip, and he was like, hey, are you in Miami? I'm in Miami, let's meet up. And I said, okay, let's meet up. So he comes in, and I kind of like start to ask him, where have you been? What have you been doing? And he's like, oh, I've been working on this app for like 10 hours a day. You know, I like told him how attractive he looked.
Okay.
Which he did. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
And he
But
was
nothing
like,
previously has ever happened between you guys,
no,
correct?
nothing previously. It was strictly business, strictly workouts, honestly. And he did ask me out on a date in November.
Okay.
And I think I kind of like looked at him differently from that. I was like, okay, we can go out on a date. But then that day never happened. So we just kind of, I don't know, whatever.
Just continued training.
Yeah. But we would always be so flirty.
Okay.
And the crazy thing is, like, when you train with someone and when you're with someone like 3 times a week for 2 years, like, you get to know that person on a deeper level. At least I thought it was him.
At least
he got to know me and my authentic self at least. Which that's fine. Like, I mean,
literally
okay
your
with
trainer.
That. Like, it's like a therapist.
It's your therapist.
You train your girl.
Yeah. And shout out to Shannon. She's like my girl for the last 2 years now. We know so much about each other. When we're training, we talk about life. You bond. Yeah. It's like a therapy
open up on different levels. You open up on, you know, you sit there and you're vulnerable with this person. You give them information about you, like sensitive stuff. You know, absolutely. I looked at him. I trusted him. Yeah. I did. You know, I really, really, like, genuinely, like, cared for him, you know? So to make this long story short, he reached out, we hung out in Miami. We went to a friend's house and hung out. He made us 2 drinks. Then we were supposed to watch him. He seemed tired, so I was like, okay, I could leave. Blah, blah. He's like, no, don't leave.
So you're at your friend's house?
Friend's house now. Okay. And I was thinking about watching a movie, and he's like, you can watch it with me. So I sit down. I'm on the couch. He hands me a remote. He's like, hey, I'll be right back. I'm going to the bathroom. And this is like 4 a.m, okay? I'm texting my cousin. I texted my cousin. I said, hey, are we ready to go? Blah, blah. And
so you and your cousin and your trainer were at the friend's house.
We were at the friend's house. Everyone was kind of hanging out. Okay. My cousin's like, I'm going downstairs. Uber's here. Okay. And I said, well, wait for me. I just want to say bye to. So I'm sitting on the couch. Okay. Waiting to start a movie. He just goes MIA. My cousin texted me. She's like, what the fuck? I just saw him. I said, where? She's like, he's in the lobby. And I'm like, what the fuck? He told me he's going to the bathroom. I go downstairs. No one's downstairs. I get an Uber with my cousin. I leave. And doesn't reach out to me at all.
You didn't even hear back from him that night?
I did not hear anything back from him that night. But I reached out to him.
So wait, he didn't even reach out. He didn't even tell you where he went or what happened?
No, nothing. He just, then I got into an Uber with my cousin. I was like, what just happened? I'm so confused. So then I reached out to him. I was like, you could have at least said goodnight or goodbye. I thought you were excited to see us. it was nice seeing you. I was being the bigger person. So the next day he reached out to me and he was like, hey, I'm sorry I had to help my friend with some stuff. He got into some trouble.
Sounds a little
And I said,
sketch.
if I had to help my friends, I would have at least been like, hey, I gotta go. I'm so sorry. It's not like I've known you since yesterday.
He ghosted you.
He ghosted me. I got ghosted by my own personal trainer.
That's insane. So fucked
So
up.
then I was like, okay, whatever. So then I reach out to him or speak to him. Yes.
So sketchy.
So then I get back home and my friend asks me, she's like, hey, have you been working out with while you were down there? And I said, no, because I didn't even know he was down there. I didn't even know we were down there at the same time.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, he's been working out. I said, what are you talking about? I don't see anything on his story.
Yeah.
She's like, showed me that he has been working out and he had me blocked on the story. I'm like, oh my God, the entire time he told me that he had
a personal
leave, that he couldn't train anybody, including himself. And I find out that he's literally been training everybody.
Oh my God.
And he's been training himself because I saw it with my own eyes and he tried to make things up, which it doesn't fly because I saw it with my own eyes. So you can't lie to me, you know?
Right.
And I'm like, so I confronted and continued to lie. I confronted him, but it kind of hurt me a little bit too because I trusted him. I put my vulnerable self out there for you. I never expected that from him.
Not only that, even just as a friend.
Considered him as a friend, someone really close to me. I saw him more than my own mom. It kind of stung a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, because someone that I've been with, not like training with for 2 years, to kind of just like betray me. I felt betrayed. I felt so betrayed and I felt hurt.
He lied to your face.
You literally sat there and lied to my face. And I hate that. I do not like liars. I'm like, I can't even believe this happened.
Yeah, when you told me, I was kind of blown away because I know too.
So everything that was telling me the entire time, blocked you because he probably thought that you were gonna tell me.
So he strategically went on his Instagram. It's such a turnoff for men to think you went on Instagram, you went to my page and Kat's page because you know we hang out all the time. You took the time to block me from seeing your story and block Kat from seeing your story. And then to blatantly just lie to your continuously to lie, like you, even after the fact that you I mean, I would
be honest. I don't understand what it is with people
who can't
be honest. Just be like, hey, I'm getting a mental leave. Like he made this whole scenario up.
And now you question everything, right?
Now I don't even know what's true anymore the last 2 years because I don't even know who he is. Because I felt so betrayed and lied to, like for the last 2 months. Like he literally made this whole scenario up about why he needed to take a leave, why he did this, why he did that. But then when you could have just simply been like, hey, you could have simply been like, hey, I need a mental health break. I'm not gonna be in town. I'm not gonna do this. Like, why make all this stuff up?
Like, we don't even know what's
It just
real
makes
anymore.
no sense. He says he's coming back, but he's not even coming back. He's literally gonna probably stay down there because that's what I heard. And that's fine, that's on him. But were you ever gonna tell me you're not gonna come back? I just kindly told him that I didn't want to move on from working out with him. And I found this new trainer, which he seems really awesome.
Yeah, he's been kicking your ass.
Through my friend Stephanie, shout out to Steph. His name is Adam, and he seems awesome. I can't wait to work out with him. I worked out with him twice already, and he is on my ass. I love that. I can't wait to get into shape so fast. I need to get in shape by Vegas because I'm going to Vegas to EDC in May. And I'm really excited about that trip. That's going to be a fun trip too.
But I just want to take it a step back for a second, talk about honesty and accountability. The thing is, like, even when you put on the spot, he was incapable of owning up to the fact that he lied to your face, owning up to the fact that he's been manipulating whatever the situation was. And then instead of just like own up to it, take responsibility, apologize, and we could have all moved on. And I feel like so many narcissistic men have this problem of owning up to when they get caught. It's like they'll do anything.
They get so defensive. Instead of just being honest and being like, hey, I fucked up. I'm sorry. let's fix this. What can we do to not repeat the same? You just continue to lie and you're like adding fuel to the fire. Like, why are you just taking all these different like steps to like make it worse, you know?
And that's the problem. Nobody wants
just
to take
be
accountability.
honest, you know? I'd rather have someone be honest with me and tell me, hey, I gotta do this. I need, you know, I can't train you, or I can't have this done. Or I don't know, whatever it is, just be honest. Like, it doesn't take a lot, to be honest.
So if there's one thing that you want to say to if he's listening, what would that be?
I have nothing to say. I think I've said enough.
Yeah.
I think I've put myself out there to him enough where if he's at all a good person, he'll know what to do at this point. If he is at all a good person. Like, I have nothing to say anymore. I have nothing to say. Everything that I've experienced in that situation, and like God put me in a situation to find all this stuff out about someone, I would say he's a good person. And he really has been in the last like 2 years. But I wish him nothing but the best, is what I would say. And I wish that he heals and finds himself and focus on you, do you, and I have nothing really.
That response right there is just a reflection of how amazing you are as a person.
I wish him, even though he's done me wrong, even though all this shit happened, I still wish him the best. I still wish he finds his true, authentic self and heals and like learns from the thing, you know, learns from losing someone. I mean, I would assume, like, I mean, you're losing a client, not someone. Yeah. But I don't know. I was really sad. And I'm open to being open with the world, like, about it. Like, I was genuinely sad about it. I'm still sad. Because, you know, you get used to someone for 2-3 years that you've been, like, training
and
with
like you said, you spent a lot of one-on-one time.
I mean, what else do you talk for, like, 30-40 minutes that you're with this person? Like, well, everything, you know?
Okay, well.
I'm good. We've moved on. We're good.
I think we'll just call it quits for this first episode.
Yeah. And I can't wait to talk about the next one.
Yes, we have so much to share. And this is just a little peek into what's coming.
Yeah.
So thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.